All right, guys, it's about to get a lot worse before it gets better. Let's see why.
Presidential campaign and the outcome of the election could dramatically change U.S. border policy, as well as impact thousands of migrants hoping to enter America. CBS News immigration and politics reporter Camilo Montoya Galvez traveled to northern Mexico to speak to those anxiously monitoring the election from the other side of the border.
Colombia,
Ecuador, Russia, really?
Russia.
You have migrants from Russia here too? Wow.
Migrants from across the globe come to the shelter in Nogales, Mexico, with the goal of reaching the U.S. to escape economic hardship and, in some cases, deadly danger.
Ahí nos intentaron matarnos y
They tried to kill you?
Sí.
Who did? ¿Quién nos trató de matar?
Las bandas que estaban en ese tiempo que recién ingresó el
Criminal
presidente.
gangs.
Like many we met that day, Ecuadorian native Rosa Benalcalzar is trying to get an appointment to enter the U.S. through an app known as CBP-1. The Biden administration set it up to discourage illegal border crossings. But the wait times can extend for months given the high demand.
Now, keep in mind, that's the same app they've been using since 2022, late 2022, early 2023 to fly illegal migrants into the country. This is the app they use to fly them in on our tax dollar.
8 meses ya, 7 meses con la aplicación.
You've been waiting for 7 months,
Sí,
but no luck so far. No has tenido suerte todavía.
No he tenido suerte.
Sister Lika Macias, who runs the shelter, says many feel that luck may become even harder to find.
There's a lot of uncertainty here in Mexico right now. Why?
Bueno, son las elecciones en Estados Unidos.
The elections in the U.S. That's the reason.
Exacto. Específicamente, las políticas de Estados Unidos tienen que ver con la política migratoria.
Because the politics in the U.S. affect policy here
Sí,
at the border.
Exacto.
Vice President Kamala Harris has promised to continue current policies that limit who can request asylum. But former President Donald Trump has vowed to seal the border altogether, including by ending the CBP-1 app.
So if you guys didn't know, since the election started, probably mid-October, when everything started, when they were projecting Trump that he was gonna be the next president, there's been a surge, like a high influx of illegal immigrants going towards the border, because they know when Trump wins, which he did, once he takes the House in January, he's gonna close down the border. I mean, we knew this was going to happen anyways, because they know Trump does not want to keep the border open, which is the right thing to do. Like I am with that. Like I do support that plan, because if we keep the same stupid shit that Harris was doing, it's just gonna destroy our economy. Also, keep in mind that just before the election, so they were bringing all these migrants in through the border and through the app, flying them in. In June, they stopped doing that because they wanted to win the elections, the Harris-Biden administration. They completely shut down, I don't care what they said, they completely shut down the border because they knew they wanted to win that vote that Trump had. But why didn't they do that sooner? Because they know the effect that has taken into our economy. It has destroyed the economy. That is the main problem. And that's what all these Gen Zers and millennials, Kamala Harris supporters don't understand. They are just worried about that fucking LGBTQ healthcare and abortion policies. That's all they care about. They don't care about anything else. Anything else, they don't care. They only care about those two things.
Sabemos, la elección puede ir cualquier manera.
Immigration attorney Alba Jaramillo urged migrants to be patient and to avoid listening to social media rumors about an overnight U.S. policy change.
There's a lot of concern about what's going to happen.
They're scared.
They're very scared. They think that the asylum system is going to close.
50% of the migrants here are children. Their parents are desperately awaiting the results of the presidential elections in the U.S., fearing dramatic changes in American border policy. But as you can see behind me, the kids here are just focused on being kids.
For the children, there's little to fear. Here, they can learn English and mathematics.
¿Y cómo se lee la cantidad esta? ¿La fracción? Un cuarto.
And enjoy outdoor activities and treats. But parents remain deeply concerned.
Are you worried about what could happen after the election in the U.S.?
Sí, sí tengo miedo.
You are scared. Why? ¿Por qué?
Porque haga de cuenta que si cierran la aplicación, ¿qué vamos a hacer? Ya esperamos 10 meses. Y sí es como desesperante.
You're worried about the U.S. closing down the application that you're using to try to get an appointment to enter the U.S.
Arely Doral says returning to her hometown in Mexico is not an option.
Why isn't it an option to go back to Guerrero?
Porque haga de cuenta que hay mucha delincuencia y de donde yo vengo ahorita se puso más trabajoso.
There's a lot of crime and it's dangerous. Y es peligroso para tu hijo. It's dangerous for your kid.
Sí.
Camilo joins us.
Again, crime, and I'm sorry for her and her child. I understand the circumstances, but crime is not a valid reason to claim asylum. We have crime in the U.S. also. So what are they gonna do? They come in, they see crime, they're gonna go elsewhere? No, that's just an excuse all of the migrants are using. That is, crime and economy are not valid reasons to claim asylum. And I'm sorry you guys didn't want to hear that, but that's just what it is.
Camilo joins us now from Tucson, Arizona. Camilo, are there concerns that the results of the election could potentially upend the current, what's considered lull in border crossings?
Hi, Lindsay. Yes, the short answer is yes. Illegal border crossings right now stand at a 4-year low. They are lower now than when the Trump administration left office in January of 2021. But as you know, migration flows can change dramatically, especially if there is a perception that U.S. government policy will change. And U.S. officials are telling me that they are concerned that they could see a spike in illegal border crossings if former President Trump is elected and is announced as the winner of the election, because many migrants will try to get inside of the country before he takes office in January of next year. If that obviously materializes, former President Donald Trump, of course, Lindsay, has promised to reinstate his hardline immigration policies, including the Remain in Mexico asylum program, to end and terminate several programs that allow migrants to come here legally, including that CBP One app process that you heard about in that story, and obviously to launch the largest deportation operation in American history.
Camilo Montoya Galvez, thank you.
Now, none of those migrants, because he said, and let's keep this in mind, he said that the influx of illegal migrants is lower than when Trump left administration in 2020. And that is horseshit, because they're trying to disguise then bringing the illegal migrants in to not being illegal, which is illegal 100%, because none of those immigrants have papers and they are coming through the border illegally. Anywhere you put it, if you come through the border walking, or they flying you out from another country, that's illegal. You coming in without a visa and you coming in without paperwork, no green card, no work permit, that is illegal. Illegal. They just try to, make it what it's not. They wanted to disguise it. It's not. You can't lie to us anymore. You can't. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that rush of people. $2,000 migrants heading. They were heading for the border. 2,000, more like 2,500. So on top of all the illegal migrants they had let in, these people know they're about to close the border, which is not going to happen like right away. But they're trying to get in before that happens. That's the shit show that Biden and Harris created.
¡Viva Honduras! ¡Viva Cuba! ¡Viva Nicaragua! ¡Viva Venezuela! ¡Viva la América Latina libre!
Completamente. La estrategia tanto de republicanos como demócratas es alargar su frontera hacia esta frontera sur. Porque queremos decirle a los Estados Unidos que mujeres y niños migrantes no somos moneda de cambio de sus diferencias políticas. Las elecciones en Estados Unidos, los migrantes creen ser favorecidos o perjudicados según el candidato ganador.
¡Viva Cristo Rey!
Look at that. Look at all those people.
Pues mi destino sería Estados Unidos, si mi Dios me lo permite. Me gusta ese nombre, me gusta Denver. Entonces me gustaría conocer la ciudad. Nueva York sería bonito también, pero me gusta Denver. Me gustaría llegar antes de que las elecciones. Pues si llega a ganar Donald Trump, él tampoco puede decir que no van a entrar los inmigrantes, porque inmigrantes...
You see the entitledness? Like, it's just, I just find it funny and also unbelievable how they think that, okay, no, they must let us in. No country is responsible for other countries' well-beings and other countries' citizens' well-beings. No country, including the United States. So just the fact that these people think they are entitled to coming through the border illegally before Trump becomes president, or even after, it's just, it shows you, like, what if it was the other way around? Do you think they would be happy if we would be flooding their country? If it was the other way around, like we had a economic crisis here, and want to flee to Venezuela, any of those countries that are coming, Cuba, Ecuador. Do you think they'll be happy, like receive it with open arms? Because I doubt that. I doubt that, and I'm gonna tell you why in a few.
Es una cosa mundial.
Indudablemente, como sabemos, pues un presidente que ya tuvo su mandato y sus leyes fueron contra la migración o antimigración. Entonces, no es nada nuevo que una vez que él pueda llegar y que Dios permita que no se dé, pues nos vaya a afectar en el tema migratorio.
¿Cuál es tu último destino? ¿A dónde vas?
Immigration is a top issue among voters, especially in border states like Texas. Recent changes in the Biden administration's policies have resulted in fewer illegal crossings. Yet critics argue that some of those changes could encourage more arrivals. Well, CBN's Tara Mergener reports from McAllen, Texas.
As the sun sets over the Rio Grande, the Texas-Mexico border appears peaceful. Once the major hotspot for illegal crossings, the situation is changed due to Texas spending billions toward aggressive border.
That's the same thing they have to do at the southern border, not at the southern, like the U.S. border, the one where they're bringing all the migrants in, the other border. They have to do the same structure they have here, because this is well done.
Border enforcement, from barbed wire and floating buoys to the National Guard.
If you cross in Texas, you will be prosecuted.
While illegal immigration is down overall in Texas, the numbers show many migrants are rerouting to other states, often with smugglers, due to Governor Greg Abbott's enhanced border security.
Border officials say that means more crossings in neighboring states like Arizona, New Mexico, and California.
Most of it is cartel. You pay the cartel to get across.
In those three states, they need to enforce the border like Texas enforced the border. Barbed wire, a big-ass fence, some National Guard, because this is a matter of national security. This is national security.
They're taking you up north because it's easier for them.
Biden administration executive orders aimed at streamlining asylum requests have also reduced the number of dangerous crossings and expedited deportations.
I'm announcing actions to bar migrants who cross our southern border unlawfully. Migrants will be restricted from receiving asylum at our southern border unless they seek it after entering through an established lawful process.
In August, 58,000 migrants entered the U.S., down from a record 250,000 in December. That's a 68% drop compared to a year ago.
I wonder why. You know why? If you don't know, I'll tell you. Because the elections were right around the corner. That's why. That's when they decided, oh shit, we're fucking up. We need to shut it down. That's what happened.
While the Biden administration touts a recent drop in illegal border crossings, critics argue they don't tell the whole story.
Exactly.
They claim new legal pathways for migrants don't reduce overall migration, but instead encourage more arrivals and further complicate border security.
The traffic and people coming into the pipeline has not abated under the executive order. The Biden administration, for quite some time now, has been using the parole system to let people make an appointment on CBP One app and fly into the country, so effectively flying over the border.
Do you hear that? They can make an appointment over the app and fly into the country. And they're not paying for the flights. Who's paying for the flights? Please, if you know, drop it in the comments. Who the fuck is paying for the flights?
The CBP One system helps process about 50,000 asylum seekers monthly, with more than 800,000 migrants paroled into the U.S. since its launch last year. Millions remain waiting for appointments.
This traveler feature is now live on CBP One.
Humanitarian parole programs also allow legal entry for tens of thousands each month from designated crisis countries, unlike regular parole, which is case-specific.
It's like the U.S. government is completing the smuggling process. They're gaming the system.
Thank you. Thank you. My man just said it. Biden and Harris were completing the fucking smuggling process. How about that, liberals? How about that, Gen Z? How about that, millennials? How about that, LGBTQ? You don't really care about this. You just want your health insurance. Shit.
And they're skewing the numbers, so it looks like immigration's down when it's actually not down at all.
We see what happens in New York. We saw what happened in Springfield, Ohio, Aurora, Colorado. That impact is being felt regardless of what the level of traffic at the border is.
We reached out to the White House about these concerns and are still awaiting a response.
Listen, guys. At the end of the day, this shit, all this shit, is all about national security and economy. And I'm going to give you a few points why. Do you see that rush of people coming in because they want to get to the border before Trump gets into the White House? They come in from a chaos situation, right? Bad economy, a lot of crime. Right now, we have a bad economy and a lot of crime because of letting all these migrants in, right? That's what messed up our economy. The only difference is for all you Gen Zers and millennials that don't know shit, especially for the Gen Zers that were born here. Only difference is all those migrants coming in, if our economy goes to shit, right, and we collapse, they don't give a shit because they just came from that same situation, so they're gonna be all right. Now, my children, your children, and you motherfuckers who were born here between 2000 and up, you guys don't know what chaos is. So you motherfuckers gonna be running like bitches if that shit happens. I've seen chaos close to me. I'm Dominican. I came from the Dominican Republic. Haiti is next to us. Haiti's economy is collapsed. We have the same situation the United States has with the open border. We have it in the Dominican Republic with Haiti. Same situation. So I know what it's like to see chaos coming into the country. I'm a United States citizen. I did my process. The legal process takes long. Yes, because it gives a break to the economy. It slows it down so we can recuperate. On top of not paying all these migrants that just got here, giving benefits, free food, free rent, free phones, free flights, free money, free healthcare. God damn it, what else can we give them? So what does closing the border solves? It helps the economy. 50% of the economics problem we have here are gonna be solved by shutting down the border. Because when shit hits the fan, the first people are gonna be running around like idiots and cowards, because that's what they are. Gen Z are cowards, especially the ones that said, "Oh, if Trump's win, I'm leaving the country." Well, you know what? If Kamala would have won, I would have been to work the next day like nothing happened. So you a coward, ones that said, "I'm leaving the country." So if the shit would have hit the fan, economy collapsed, you're the first one's gonna try to flee or do whatever you gotta do because you are a coward. So in reality, shutting down the border is what's gonna fix this country mainly, because we're gonna stop wasting money on free food, free rent, free phones, free money, free healthcare, and free flights for illegal immigrants that just got here. And I'm not against them. Just take your process. Do your process. And if you get accepted, good. If you don't, then you gotta go. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. I did the same process. My process took 7 years. You see me crying? Do you know that the legal process, when you get to the country, for them to consider you, for them to consider your application, you have to get a sponsor that says, if they cannot take care of themselves, I will take care of them financially. Yes. So why in the fuck are these people coming over illegally and we're paying for all their shit on our dollars? Why? You know what? I'm gonna let this guy explain it. So you might, maybe I'm coming up too hostile because it hits home. Let's see. Maybe you understand it better. This is a Haitian national. He's from Haiti. He also did his process legally. Let's see what he has to say.
Country, and I speak 4 languages, and you guys can still hear my accent. When I first moved here from Haiti to college, I had to take a TOEFL test to be able to get into college, and I did it. Every single exam in my first year of college, I had to translate everything into French in my head first to understand what the question is asking and then answer the question. Guess what? Everybody had 1 hour, whatever the time is to do a test. It took me also an hour to do all that. I never once thought that I was a victim. But let me tell you something, though. This country is built on immigrants. I like that. But at the same time, Democrats is at a point right now where they are shipping a bunch of illegal immigrants. They don't even know who they are, even people from my own country.
And he's from Haiti. He's Haitian. Listen.
We have actual criminals. Don't shake your heads because I'm Haitian. I speak Creole very, very
Look
clearly,
at all those Gen Zers,
and I still have
Democrats shaking their heads
in Haiti
because they don't
we
know
have
shit.
criminals from my own country traveling here to the border. And where they are placing them, they are placing them in the black communities. Like, for example, in Chicago, they are closing indoor playgrounds
Ohio,
where black kids and Hispanic kids are using during the winter time to, not just that, but also to keep them off the street. What they are doing, they are putting these people inside those places, and they were taking funds away from the people who were there. So as an immigrant, I think it's the worst thing for this country, for black people, Hispanic people, to vote Democrats, because you guys have been leading this country for 16 years. Even when Obama was president, black America was the worst it's ever been. Trump.
Thank you. Thank you. It's just, you guys don't understand. This is a national security and economy security problem. Gen Zers, like I said, you don't understand. All you guys want to do is your fucking LGBTQ health insurance and the abortion policy. That's all you care about. I care about my children, my family, their future. Do you really think if we let all these immigrants in, like we have all those shit, if we let more in, what you think is going to happen to the economy? If Trump doesn't deport all those illegal immigrants, what do you think is going to happen to the economy? And the crime rate is going to get worse. Do you think Haiti is the only country where criminals are coming in? They're coming in from everywhere, even my country. That's it. That is the issue here. That's why the border needs to be closed down. Because I want my children to have a future, just like I had an opportunity in this great country. Again, the United States is not responsible for other countries' citizens' economic problems or well-being, just like any other country is not responsible for any other country's citizens' well-being. Coming into the United States is a privilege. Being born in the United States is a privilege because it's the greatest nation in the world. So we should treat it as the privilege that it is. Stop being entitled, Gen Zers and millennial Democrats, because it's not a right to everyone. Stop being ungrateful. You don't know what chaos is. If chaos hits here, you're going to be running like a bitch that you are. And again, I might be wrong. That's just my opinion. You might agree with me. I think most of you won't agree with me. That's fine. You're entitled to your own opinion. But hey, what can I say? Please, all I can ask is if you can, like and share the video, subscribe to support the channel. I'm going to drop my other videos. Going to be here, or wherever YouTube decides to put them. Be safe. And again, have a blessed and exclusive day. Peace.